Okay, we are in action now. Hooray! Okay. Right. So, welcome to Manifest by Design. So, Manifest by Design is a challenge that we have really come to love and appreciate. It is a challenge where you will learn the ins and outs of manifestation, but not just like a general broadscape kind of way of manifesting. You will learn a specific way of how to manifest in accordance to your human design. So today we're going to really dive into what it means to like have your own identity and why a general overview of manifestation won't just work for everyone, because we are all individual and we are all unique, and we need to really honor that we all have a unique strategy in how we manifest our dream lives. Now, the stuff I'm going to teach you today is something that I've employed in my own life, and I have manifested a lot of things. And recently, something really big, which I can't wait to share with you all. But manifestation has become second nature to me. And the more I practice everything that I'm going to teach you throughout this week, the more you'll start to understand how it becomes intertwined into like the DNA of your being. And you're easily able to then manifest what you really and truly desire, which is a really exciting thing for me. So, today, we're going to go through the mind, body, and soul connection and why it's so important to work with everything very holistically when it comes to manifestation. We'll then go into the mind part of it, which is understanding who you are being, because you don't just attract from your thoughts or your feelings, you also attract from who you are being. And if you don't know who you are being, then chances are you're probably manifesting some of the wrong things, right? So we really are going to go through how to shift and change that. We're also going to then go through an introduction into human design. And if you don't know about human design, I will break it down. I'm super excited to introduce more people into human design, because for me, it is the most incredible modality. So who is excited to join? Who is excited about this challenge? And who is excited to learn more about manifestation? I know I surely am. So there are also going to be amazing prizes to be won this week, up to the value of $2,000, which is like 30,000 Rand. We've also got some really incredible prizes for all of our past Unleash Your Hero students. So I'm going to need your help. Recently, we've been posting a lot of different testimonials, both on this platform, Instagram and Facebook. And essentially, we would like you to now vote for the transformation that you found to be the most profound. And the person who gets the most votes on this will win a VIP day with me, which I'm very excited about. So, pardon, I do apologize for my voice. So that is also one of the prizes. So I hope you guys are registered, because it's only people that are registered that will be eligible for prizes. And yes, just very excited. If you haven't registered yet, you can register. The links are in our Instagram bio. It's all over Facebook. If you need it, just pop us a message in the Facebook group, which is the Manifestation Community, or on Instagram, and we will make sure to get you that link as a matter of priority. Okay, so for those who may not know me, just going to do a quick introduction, but my name is Kylie, and I'm the founder and visionary of Mind Your Hero. And for those that want to know about my human design type, I'm a 3/5 emotional generator. And essentially, I'm here to blend a whole bunch of different things together, which is what you're going to see throughout this week, to bring to you a unique way of teaching you how to manifest. I have manifested, like I said before, a lot of things in my life. I've manifested a beautiful apartment that we now live in Dublin. I'm currently visiting South Africa. In fact, yesterday was my 10th flight in 3 months, which is like really like crazy to me. I've manifested going to the Maldives for my honeymoon, my dream wedding, much success in our business. Absolutely everything in my life is a manifestation. And that's the thing. Manifestation isn't just something that you can just turn on or turn off. Manifestation is something that you're always doing. And that can sometimes be a bit of a hard truth, because everything in your reality is actually a manifestation. So we're going to break it down into, well, what are you manifesting, and get a little bit more what should I call it, a little bit more aware of how you can use the principles that I'm going to teach you this week so that you can use them to your advantage. Now, if you do see me looking to the side, I'm just looking at the notes I've brought up for you guys today, just so I can keep track of everything. I've also got Facebook on this side and Instagram on this side. So yes, okay, just try to monitor everything and make sure that I'm keeping on track. Just a little bit more about me. I am a wife, a fur mom, and I'm a lover of all things like quantum physics, manifestation, woo-woo, ancient laws, and I honestly love sharing this wisdom with all of you. I really, really do. It's my passion, and it's also just so incredible to me that I've been able to turn my passion into my full-time career, which is amazing. So, without further ado, let's get into the nitty-gritty of what we're going to be talking about this week. So when it comes to manifestation, we really need to look at things holistically. There is a mind, body, and soul connection. And when all three of those elements are working in what we call cohesion with one another, you start to become what we call a magnetic monopole, and we start attracting everything to us. And thank you so much, Sarah. Yes, my voice is a little bit croaky still. But once we become a magnetic monopole, we just start attracting things into our reality almost instantaneously. We start becoming a much quicker manifester because we've become a vibrational match to what it is that we want. Now, I know you're going to ask the $1 million question, which is, well, but how do I do that? And that's what we're going to go through this week. So basically, when we're working with our mind, body, and soul, we get back into what we call homeostasis. And homeostasis and being in homeostasis means that we're really, truly, authentically are living in accordance to our soul's blueprints. Now, each and every single person, each and every single one of you has a soul blueprint. And when we start to understand how that soul's blueprint starts to operate and work, that's when we can actually, that's when we can actually start to know if we're living in authenticity. And I really want to just dive into what is authentic and what is maybe not authentic. A lot of people think that authenticity is just about being a good person, but being a good person often leads to people just wanting to people please, or people wanting to, say the right things and always be this good person. But being authentic also means diving into our shadows. It means that we have to heal the parts of us that are really abandoned because we feel embarrassed and ashamed and unworthy of working on ourselves. And when we can really truly work on things like that, that's when we work in homeostasis with our soul's blueprint. That is when we can really manifest all of our desires to us, because we're honoring who we truly are at our core essence. Core essence, that's a big one. So that is what we are going to talk about this week. And today I really want to start with, who are you? Because I think a lot of people don't know what their true identity is, and that's okay. It's okay to not know who you are, because society conditions us in many different ways. So we've got conditioning from ourselves because we have to be somebody that we're not necessarily are in order to be accepted, to be loved, to be revered, to be celebrated. We also then have societal conditioning in terms of what the media gives to us all the time. And again, we believe that we have to start being a certain way in order to receive this love, acceptance, celebration, reverence. And that is not what our souls want. We've also got conditioning that we receive from our parents, and it's not to ever blame our parents, because our parents always did the best that they possibly could with the resources that they had available to us. But we then have to look into generational stuff, and our parents learned what they learned from their parents and their parents and their parents, and so on and so forth. So we've got generational trauma and generational things that need healing too. And when we can truly start to unpack all of this, we start to really get to, well, who is it that I am? And when you are being fully authentic to who you are, that is when you attract everything that you desire. So I like to always work from looking at the end results, and then we can start reverse engineering this process back. So most people want to start with, okay, what is step one? But step one is to start at the end. Begin with the end in mind. It's a principle outlined by Dale Carnegie. It's his second principle in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and that is to begin with the end in mind. So what is your intention? So this can go for, what is your intention this week? What do you want to have achieved or learned by the end of this week? What do you want to achieve and accomplish by the end of the year? What is it that you want to do that you really, really just want to manifest in your life? Because that's going to really give us key indications as to what you need to start doing today. Manifestation is all about embodiment. And I can tell you so many stories of where I haven't been embodied, and I truly haven't. And guess what? Nothing happens. Then I start working from a place of desperation, a place of scarcity. And guess what happens then? I get more scarcity. I get more lack because I'm working from this place of, well, this is not enough. This is not working for me. Now I need to get desperate. And have you guys ever been in that situation before where you wanted something so badly that you push and you hustle and you go even harder just to try and get something in return? And you can't understand why your manifestations aren't coming to you because you're just hustling. Okay. Yeah, definitely, Kelly. Kelly says on Facebook, you attract what you put out. And sometimes we can get overwhelmed when we're trying to find where to start. Exactly. So when we begin with the end in mind, we can reverse engineer our process down. So I want you to put into your workbook, if you have downloaded it, and for those that haven't joined up for the challenge, it's still available. You can still register and get your workbook, but I want you to put down, what is your intention for this week? What do you want to walk away with knowing how to do? And intention is super powerful. You know, you can go to the gym and be like, yeah, I'm going to go do this amazing workout. Or you can just be like, oh, I have to go to gym because I have to go to gym. What workout do you think will work better? Definitely the one where you're like, I get to go and celebrate my body. And my intention is to be fitter and healthier. That workout and that mindset will yield you far greater results than if you just go to the gym for the sake of going to gym, right? So really always begin with the end in mind. And that's where we set a powerful intention. Now, I want to talk to you about identity, because with manifestation, your identity is super important. Now, a lot of people don't realize how important identity is, but I want to start describing the Dilt's logical levels of thinking. So Dilt's logical levels of thinking has purpose at the very top. We then get into identity, values and beliefs, capabilities, behaviors, and environment. Okay, now purpose is, what is your why? Okay, so we look at our intention. Maybe your intention is to manifest more money by the end of this week. So let's find out, for what purpose? Always ask yourself, for what purpose do I want my manifestation? And when you start to understand your purpose for what it is that you want, that's when you can start to take on your identity. Okay, so your identity is, well, who do I have to be in order to receive that? Now, if we're looking at the gym example, you have to embody that persona or that identity of an athlete, because an athlete is somebody that you know will wake up and go to the gym happily because it's ingrained into who they are. You're also not going to go and eat McDonald's every day if you're an athlete. Well, because I am an athlete has a lot of meaning to it. And I'm not just saying that, you know, like that's the only identity that you can take on and that you should be eating a certain way or anything. I'm just using this as an example. But with an abundant identity of somebody that wants to make more money, how would you already be showing up in your life if you already had the abundance that you desired? How would you be showing up if you already had received the money that you so desperately want to receive? I'm pretty sure that you wouldn't be stressing, worrying, you know, counting every penny. You would be embodying everything so much deeper because you're just being this person that you know is abundant. So identity is hugely, hugely important. Now, in order to understand where our identity might be, all we need to do is simply look at our environment. So this is where we begin with the end in mind. So our environment constitutes of our bank balances, our relationships, our friendship groups, our career paths, our jobs, everything in our external world is a direct reflection of our internal reality. And that is what the law of correspondence is. The law of correspondence states that everything in our external world is a direct reflection of what is happening on the inside. Now, when we start to dissect the environment around us, we start to understand what our identity is. So if, for example, your bank balance ain't doing too great right now, what are the beliefs that you have about it? Maybe it's, oh, I'm not good with money. Money is the root of all evil. All of these different things that then start to, we've got some beliefs that we need to shift. We've got some behaviors that we need to kind of just realign. And what is the identity that we're telling ourselves? Well, I'm not good with money. That's not going to yield you big results. I'm not wealthy is also going to bring more of that into your reality. So it's really, really important that we start to really understand our identity in order to change our environment. And when we change our identity, our environment starts to change. So when I was in corporate, I used to walk around the office going, oof, I'm the CEO of my company. At that stage, I had started Mind Your Hero. I was side hustling still, and I really just truly wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur. The more I told myself I was the CEO, the better I also did in my company, because I had taken on that role of what a CEO would take on. And I just really enjoyed everything a lot more, even though there were times where I got frustrated because obviously I was like, oh, I'm still working in a 9 to 5 and all I want to do is be this full-time entrepreneur. But just by taking on that identity, I was able to manifest leaving my job 3 months prior to what I had originally intended on. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So Sarah says on Facebook, in order to embrace my skills and capabilities, it's to believe I am enough. Whew, that's a big one. Who here, and hands up, no shame, because I've been there too. In fact, it's been my biggest life sentence, is believing I am not enough. Okay. Believing I'm not enough ripple affects everything. My bank balances, relationships, all of those things. Until you truly value yourself, you won't be able to manifest your desire. Self-love is a huge, huge component of manifestation, which a lot of people don't realize. If you don't truly love yourself, then you are being somebody that's also, again, inauthentic to your soul's blueprints. Okay, so it works very, very well both ways. And I see a lot of people on Facebook are saying that, yeah, I didn't feel enough. And, you know, I get it. It's something that we all get to work on. It's not something that we have to work on. We're not broken. We don't need fixing. We all just need healing. And when we start to heal these core beliefs and these wounds, that's when we start to raise our vibration. That's when we start to change our identities and inevitably change what's happening in our environments. So if you have your workbook, again, you can download it from the links in our bio or on Facebook. I want you to start doing your lifestyle audit. I want you to go through every single area of your life and actually start to rate your areas of your life, what they are currently and where you would want them to be. And then I want you to ask yourself, who do I have to become in order to bridge this gap? Because when you bridge the gap of really embodying that true essence of who you are, you actually start to do a phenomenon of collapsing timelines. Okay, so if you want to be the CEO, just like I've explained in my previous example, and you start embodying that and you start taking on thought processes and you start acting as if you were already that entrepreneur, you're going to eventually just become that entrepreneur because you've embodied it fully and you manifest who you are being. So today's really, really all about your identity, what your intention is, and how we can reverse engineer that process. Well, okay, so this is where things get really interesting, really exciting. And this is where I want to start introducing the concept of human design, because I'm sure a lot of you are sitting here going, okay, cool, Kai, it's really great talking about identity, but I don't know who the bleep I am, right? And I know for a lot of people, we don't know who we are. We have disruption cycles in our lives. So disruption cycles, which again can be measured through human design, are things like our Saturn returns, or when we become a wife, we change our name as woman, but even as a man, you change something inside of you when you become married. When you graduate from high school, when you go into a new job, a new role, even all of these different things, as amazing as they are, it is known as a disruption cycle, because once again, you're changing your identity. But I want to start to talk about human design, because when you know and embody the information and the essence of human design, that is when you can truly start to always know when you are in alignment and in what we call homeostasis with your soul's blueprints or not. And it's a very, very simple kind of equation to that, okay? So what is human design? Let's first talk about what is human design, because a lot of people have no clue what human design is, and I cannot wait to introduce it to you if you don't know what human design is. So human design is this beautiful, beautiful modality that combines astrology, the Chinese I Ching system, the Hindu chakra system, the Kabbalah system, and quantum physics. And essentially, there are over 3 billion different combinations of human design, which is crazy. So it's not supposed to box you in, but it's more rather a guideline on how to live authentically to who you are. And with human design, the only information you're going to need is the date of your birth, the time of your birth, where you were born, city, location, etc. And what happens is that in science, and this is a very, very, very big, important part of manifestation even, we learn that everything is energy. And if everything is energy, everything is made up of atoms and neutrons and protons and electrons. And we also then get subatomic particles called neutrinos. Now, neutrinos are basically born from the supernova effect, which is like stardust. And at the time of birth, those neutrinos infuse us with information, and the neutrinos are then read, and ta-da, we get our soul's blueprints, which is really, really exciting. So once you start to understand your human design soul's blueprints, you start to understand how you are wired. I always like to kind of compare human design to being thrown in the middle of the maze. Now, you may be thrown in the middle of the maze and you don't know where to start, you don't know where to go, you don't know who you are. And inevitably, if you put your intention towards finding the treasure in the middle of the maze, you're going to. Your success is always inevitable. I truly, truly believe that. However, I could throw you in the middle of the maze and be like, cool, find the treasure. Or I could be like, hey, I'm going to throw you in the middle of the maze, but I'm also going to give you this map. Here, you can find the treasure with this map. Who do you think is going to find the treasure faster? Probably the person with the map, right? And that's what human design is. It's the map on how to get to the next level faster. It's not necessary that you have to have it, but who doesn't want the shortcut? Who doesn't want the answers? Who doesn't want to know how they operate and how they can get things quicker, easier, faster? I know implementing human design in my life has made massive changes, especially with my business. I do a lot of things in accordance to my human design now, eating in accordance to my human design, manifesting in accordance to my human design, launching in accordance to my human design, everything in accordance to my human design. And it's really held me in such good stead. And Red says, Harry Potter vibes? Definitely, definitely. Thinking of the Goblet of Fire. I actually had that one in my mind. Okay, so I'm going to go through the 5 different energy types of human design just to help you understand a little bit about who you are, and very specifically, especially for those that have the workbook, what your purpose is. Okay, so we've got what we call energy beings and non-energy beings. Now, I've just said to you guys, everything is energy. We are all energy. And you're like, but now you're telling me I'm a non-energy being. When I say that you're a non-energy being, it just means that you do not have a defined sacral center. So you do not have consistent access to your life force energy. You have inconsistent access to it. Does not mean that you're not energy. It doesn't mean that you're like non-energetic. It just means that you have a different strategy with how to deal with your energy. And that's really, really important, because for a lot of people, and I can speak firsthand from this experience, especially over the last 2 weeks, you cannot manifest from a burnt out state. 100% you cannot. Why? Because when you're burnt out, your soul is trying to protect you. It goes into shutdown mode. It repels all of your desires from you, because it's like, you just need a break. I'm just going to make sure you're okay, and you're not going to get anything that you want. And when you're burnt out, you cannot manifest. So I really want to help people move away from burnout back into like alignment with their energy and how their energy operates, so that you can manifest all of these amazing things in your life. So the 5 energy types are manifestor, generator, manifesting generator, projector, reflector. And essentially, all the different types in human design work really, really well together. I like to kind of describe it as a play act, okay? So you've got the manifestors, who are the playwrights. They are the people that have the ideas for everything. They will write the scripts, they will see the bigger vision, and manifestors have a bit of a repelling aura. So they will see what they want, they get a creative download, and they go for it. Now, when a manifestor is going for it and they're not being disrupted and they've informed everyone around them, they feel this great sense of peace. When their creative flow is being disrupted, they get angry, okay? Now, manifestors are quite a unique energy type, so let me know if you are a manifestor. There's a couple of manifestors, and it's crazy. At the moment, I have 2 one-on-one manifestor clients. But manifestors only make up 9% of the population. So that's really special in its own right. But if you think about it, not everyone can be the playwright. You need the people that are the actors and the actresses and the audience members and the directors of the play. But yes, so manifestors are really here to be the visionaries, to really see what the collective is not seeing. And the purpose, because I'm sure you guys want to know about the purpose. The purpose of the manifestor is to translate inspiration into form. So remember what I said about the manifestor. They download these ideas and they go for it. They go and get into creative flow and they just go for it. And they have an amazing energy to do that. So their energy will work in cycles. They will get onto this energetic like high, quickly run through everything, do it all faster than anybody else, and then they'll need a nap and they'll need time to like replenish themselves. Okay, so that is a bit about the manifestor. Now, I've mentioned this already, but the 2 key things here is that a manifestor that is living in alignment with their design will feel peace. A manifestor that is not living in their design is going to feel anger. Now, how they depict how they need to live is they need to inform and initiate. So manifestors will have a very close circle of friends and family that they need to curate very carefully. And when they need to inform them about what they're doing, because through informing, people won't disrupt their creative flow. And for a manifestor, the hardest thing to do is to inform, because they have been conditioned to believe that they need to dim their lights. And that's one of the biggest challenges a manifestor gets to kind of unlock, is that it's safe for them to speak their truth, to step into their wisdom and to shine their lights. Without that deconditioning, manifestors can become very, very angry and feel as though that they're very different. And they can become very internally like just angry at everything. So very important for manifestors to really live in alignment to their soul's purpose. I start with a manifestor because manifestors are basically how everyone is conditioned to believe they need to be in order to get anywhere in life. So most people are conditioned to be the manifestor, to go out, to get it, to hustle, to initiate. Meanwhile, 70 to 75% of us are actually generators and manifesting generators, which is what I'm going to talk about next. So a generator and a manifesting generator basically are the actors, the lights, the cameras, the stage equipment of the play that we're talking about, that we're in. And the generators and money gens are here to build and to really become masters of their work. Okay, so a generator, I'm going to kind of group the generator and manifesting generator into one, but I will separate a few more. And I see lots of people are saying that they're generators, which is amazing. So yeah, let me know if you are a generator. And if you guys don't know where to get your human design information, you can literally just type into Google free human design chart. You will get your information as to who you are. But a generator is here to really respond to their environment. And I say we because I am a generator, when we are responding to our environment correctly, we feel a deep sense of satisfaction. And when we are not, we feel frustrated. Now, the reason we feel frustrated is because our energy kind of does this. It goes quantum leap. You have this amazing adventure. It's extreme leaps, changes everything. And then you plateau out. And just before you make the next quantum leap, you get really, really stuck. And you feel very, very frustrated because you feel like you're not progressing. And when you feel like you're not progressing, that's when you're actually building momentum in order to have that next massive leap. Okay, so when you're feeling frustrated, I like to kind of reframe it to I'm building momentum for the next quantum leap. And that's also when you're faced with a lot of challenges. But this is something for every single type. It doesn't matter what type you are. You cannot manifest new things if you do not surpass the challenges that you're currently being faced with. Okay, now I'm going to be very vulnerable here for a minute, and I'm going to say that I was not energetically in my best mind space for this week. And today I really meditated. I actually did an entire 3-hour morning routine just to give back to myself, because I have been giving a lot of myself, not in my business, but to others around me. And I was like, oh, am I actually, because I always believe in doing everything with the right energy, the correct intentions. I was like, am I actually in the right space to be doing this challenge this week? And it came through that the universe was testing me. It was testing me to see how I could build myself back up and take the next quantum leap. Okay, so if you are being challenged right now and you are not passing the challenges, you will not get to the next level. Okay, it's the same thing. Like, this is the example I like to use. If you are wanting to build a massive Instagram or TikTok following, and you have a few followers right now, and one person is being a hater, and it's really just destroying you, okay? How do you think that you would cope with having a following of 300, 500,000 followers, 1 million followers even, where there's going to be so many more people that will be following you just to hate on you? Because essentially what you're doing is triggering their shadows. If you cannot deal with one hater, you're not going to deal with the thousands more to come if you want to grow to that audience size. So you really have to be able to become the energetic container that helps you expand past the challenges. Okay. Yay, I'm so glad that when people say that I'm having a deep, deep realization, I needed to hear this. Gaining momentum for change. Yes. Yep, hate is gonna hate. I'm building up so much momentum. Amazing. Yeah, that's me. I need to pass a challenge. Okay, so I am facing one of my challenges right now just by showing up here. And for that, I'm actually very grateful to myself, because I was having a little bit of a moan beforehand that need to get over it. Okay, so we're a manifesting generator. And by the way, for those that have the workbook, the purpose of both the generator and the manifesting generator is to build. Okay, it's to build, it's to really become like a generator specifically, it's to really become a master of your work. Now, manifesting generators is slightly different. It's still to build, it's still to respond to your environment, but you know, a manifesting generator is a multifaceted, very multi-passionate energy. And they like to sometimes skip steps because they move so quickly. And because they move so quickly, they do often miss out the gaps, but they find the shortcuts and they actually then bend and warp time, which is super, super fascinating. But a manifesting generator is still here to kind of take on a bit of the manifestor, in that they need to inform those around them of what they're doing, because they are such fast energy beings. And because they're so quick with their energy, people can't keep up with them. And when people can't get up with them, people stop their disruptive flow. And that's when a manifesting generator will also again get angry. So a manifesting generator is a hybrid between a generator and a manifestor. And in your chart, you'll either be more manifestor or more generator. So that's something that would go into a little bit more deeper detail. But really just, as a manifesting generator or generator, you will know when you are living in alignment, when you are feeling deeply satisfied, especially by the work that you are doing. You will also know when you're being pulled out of alignment, when you're feeling super frustrated, and for the manifesting generator, angry. Okay, if you're feeling angry, you're not informing people, you're not living in accordance to your design, and the strategy that you have to follow as a generator is to respond to your environment. This is why I love questions. This is why I love doing live launches, because I feel like, and I love how people are feeling called out during this training. That's amazing. I feel, you guys get to radiate out of my energy, and I get to respond to what your needs are just by being here in this live space. This is not going to work for everyone, by the way. And yeah, a manifesting generator, same thing. They need to respond, but they also need to inform and initiate a little bit. Okay, so yeah, that is a manifesting generator and generator. So we now move on to the rarer types. So, well, we've already done one of the rare types, which is a manifestor, but we're now going into projectors, and you will start to notice that there are a lot more projectors coming into this lifetime. That is because projectors are here to lead and really guide the collective forward. They're here to really help heal the planet as well. And by 2027, there's going to be like a year where only projectors will be born, because they are really needed to lead and guide the planet forward. In the past, by the way, there were a lot more manifestors, and manifestors are becoming less and less and less, because there's a different need for the planet right now. And I'm sure you can all agree that in the 1900s, there were a lot more kind of, and I don't want to give manifestors a bad name, but there were a lot more leaders, sometimes not always the best leaders, and most of them were actually manifestors. But now we're heading into a stage of our planet's evolution where we need more people to heal the planet, to guide and lead the collective forward, and to really bring healing into this world. And that is the role of the projector. So the projector really is the midwife of the universe, which I think is really beautiful. So the life purpose, if you have the workbook, is to manage and guide creation. And creation is not just about painting a picture and being artistic. Creation is also about what you're manifesting. Creation is about what you are bringing to this planet. So creation goes far deeper than just being artistic. Creation is about what you're bringing to the world, what you're bringing life to, the life force that you're giving things around you. Okay. Now, a projector, when they are living in accordance to their design, which is to wait for the invitation. I'm going to explain that a bit more, because projectors get, especially now with what the world's going through, so much healing is needed here on Earth. Guys, I couldn't agree more. There's so much going on right now, and, especially, and my heart does get so shattered when you hear the news, especially with what's happening in Ukraine and everything. And I'm not one to follow the news intently, but I'm very aware with what's going on at the moment, and it's heartbreaking. So we really do need more guidance, more healing, more, just much more conscious awakening, which is happening. It's happening. Okay. So let's talk about the projector strategy, because the projector strategy is to wait for the invitation. Now, a projector doesn't need to just wait on the couch and do nothing in order to receive an invitation. Receiving the invitation means that they need to first recognize themselves. So a projector that is living in their strategy will feel very successful. And this is because they recognize themselves and they truly value and appreciate themselves. Remember, I said earlier, there's a huge component of self-love with manifestation. And if you don't truly love and respect and honor yourself, you won't be able to manifest your desires. And that is very true for a projector. A projector really needs to spend time every single day recognizing themselves, because when a projector doesn't feel recognized, they go into their shadow, which is feeling unseen, unheard, unrecognized. And when they don't feel seen, heard, and understood, they actually project themselves onto others, and they start getting really bitter, because the more that they project themselves onto others and share too much of themselves without the invitation, people start to repel them, and that's when a projector gets really, really bitter. So a projector needs to recognize themselves. A projector can practice like waiting for the invitation by already practicing their craft, by talking about what they're passionate about with those that do want to hear that knowledge. Because projectors are very they're obsessive creatures by nature. So I learned so much from my projectors because they are generally very, very highly intelligent, especially on certain topics. They zone in, they focus on it, and they will come to me, especially when I teach human design. I've had so many projectors in the past actually going and doing human design courses because they get so fixated on this, because it's something that really helps them unlock their genius. And they will come to me and they're like, did you know this? And did you know that? And did you know this? I'm like, wow, this is amazing, because they really are here to have so much guidance and wisdom. But they need to be recognized by the other types. Now, when they are recognized by the other types, especially as generators and mani-gens, because we're always clucking around like headless chicken going, oh, what do we need to do here? What do we need to do here? What do we need to do here? Then the manifesting generators and generators can actually ask the projectors who are really good at systems, hey, I really need help with this system or this in life. Can you help guide and lead me? The projector will step in and do such a brilliant job, because that's when their designs are really starting to work together. So I love my projectors. Cannot live without my projectors. And this is how we start to see everything working really well in society. So in terms of the play context, the projectors are the directors of the play. They are directing, they are guiding, they are leading everyone in the play, okay? So we then move into our last type, and that is the reflector. Now, I know my reflectors are quite elusive. They probably won't be in these trainings because it is a lot of energy to take in, but I know that there are a few reflectors in our community, and I've loved working with 3 of them already. So our reflectors, and by the way, Mind Your Hero is a reflector, which is very, very interesting. So reflectors make up 1% of the population, which is super rare, it's super unique. And if you are a reflector listening, please let us know. But essentially, the life purpose of a reflector is to be the karmic mirror. And a reflector really is here to reflect back to the community the things that are going right and the things that aren't going right. And when things aren't going right, the reflector is going to be the first one that will be able to really showcase that. Now, yes, reflectors really are the unicorns of the world. Okay, so the reflectors are governed by the moon, which means that they have to wait 28 days in order to respond to a situation. And that's because the moon has to travel through all 64 of their gates, okay, in order for them to really start to understand how they're starting to feel in certain situations. Okay, once they start to understand everything of their decision, that's when they can finally make a decision. And sometimes it's more than one lunar cycle that they have to wait for, and that's okay. I have a really good friend who's a reflector, and she really lives in her design so well. So reflectors love surprise, and reflectors are all about building anticipation. So, for example, a reflector might really delight in the ordeal of making a cup of tea, because they have to wait for that kettle to boil. They then have to drink it, see if they like it, and that builds anticipation. And if they do like it, they get really surprised. When a reflector starts feeling disappointed, they know that the environment that they're in is not the correct environment for them. Environment is hugely important for a reflector, and their environment really needs to be that of a very aligned environment. So environment is hugely important to a reflector. A reflector thrives off of the right environment. So yeah, that is a little bit about the 5 energy types. And hopefully you now know what energy type you are, what your purpose is. I'll quickly run through them again. And you know what your self-theme is and your not self-theme. So if you're a manifestor, very quickly running this down. If you're a manifestor, your life purpose is to translate inspiration into form. You will know if you're living in accordance to your design when you're feeling really peaceful, and you will know when you're in your not self-theme when you feel really angry. If you are a projector, I'm going to go through all the non-energy beings first. If you are a projector, your life purpose is to manage and guide creation. You will know when you feel really successful that you are living in your strategy and in your purpose. And you will know when you're feeling really bitter that something's not really feeling good and you need to go more into your soul's alignment. If you are a reflector, your life purpose is to be the karmic mirror. You will know when you are feeling really surprised that you are living in the right environment and in alignment to your strategy. And when you're feeling really disappointed, you know that something's got to give and something needs to change. If you are a generator, your life's purpose is to build, and you will know when you are doing the right work for you, when you feel satisfied by what you're doing. And when you're feeling frustrated, something could be draining your life force energy. You could also be building momentum, but really just be a strict curator on what is bringing you joy and what is not. And the same thing for the manifesting generator. Your life purpose is to build. Remember, you've got to respond and then act, whereas a generator just responds. As a manifesting generator, you will feel really satisfied and a bit peaceful when you are living in alignment, and you will feel really frustrated and angry even when you are living out of your design. Okay, so that's a little bit about who you are at a soul's essence. And when you start to live in accordance with that, that's when, things just manifest to you. And it really does start with something as simple as that. Am I feeling satisfied by what I'm doing today? Am I recognizing myself if you're a projector? Am I feeling surprised by what's in my environment? As a reflector, put lots of plants around you. Watching your plants grow is also like a massive thing for reflectors. And I'm so glad. A lot of people on Facebook are saying that no matter how many times I've heard this information, they always learn something new, which is amazing. Okay, so I'm so glad that you love it as well, Kelly. But yeah, this really is a quintessentialness, if that's even a word. I'm making it a word. We're making it a word, of human design and how this really starts to influence how you manifest. And this is just part 1. So this is just the first part of our 3-part series this week that we're giving away for free. Just to let you know, if you wanted to learn human design just on its own, this is valued at like $3,000, this information. Manifestation, I've seen programs and invested in programs that go over $15,000 and beyond. And all of these different things add up. And I'm giving you this information away for free this week. So really take it so that you can unleash your power within you, because it is valued at way more than what I'm giving it out to you guys at. Okay. And yes, nobody ever, time goes so fast in masterclasses. It does. But this is why we have 3 days of this. So just to confirm, I am going live. Well, today's already over, which is, but I'm going live again on Wednesday at the same time. On Thursday, because life has thrown a lot of curveballs at me at the moment, need to really check into my manifestation with that, but I know exactly what's going on and I can't wait to share it with you all. And I promise I will, with everything that's been going on. But on Thursday, I've got something really special that I need to do. So I'm going to have to go live at 5, if that's okay with everyone, which is 5 p.m. South African time, 3 p.m. UK time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just because I've got something really important that I need to do. Again, I can't really say it out loud in case that person might be watching. It is a surprise. Yeah, I'm not going to say much more than that because then I'll just give it away. I really love that you're running the series on Facebook and IG. Yes, it's something that I feel like really needed to happen. But yeah, and thank you, Lay, 7 p.m. Dubai time. We've got so many beautiful new heroes in our community from all over the world, which is super, super exciting. And I know we've got people from Singapore and Dubai and lots of people from India and Kenya all of a sudden. So this is really, really, really exciting. For those that are kind of wondering what this is all about, we are launching Unleash Your Hero at the end of this week, and it's going to be a bit of a different launch. I want to start preparing you guys now. We are only launching Unleash Your Hero once this year. Once this year. We will only be having Unleash Your Hero for 1 round this year. 1 round. So if you're thinking about it, if you've been on the fence about it, now's your time to really join because it's only going to be once this year. My one-on-one spaces are almost fully booked. I've had 4 new clients sign up in the last 2 weeks, which is really, really amazing, but I've only got 1 space left. 1 space left, and that's because my client that has been with me for over 2 years has flown the nest in a very loving way. And because she's left my one-on-one mentor spaces, because they were fully booked up until last week, the 22nd of February 2022, you know, that magical day, I've only got 1 space left. So this is going to be the only opportunity you get to work with me on a that kind of level. Okay. So Cyan, if you really want to, we can chat about how we can make it work, because obviously we've got payment plans available. I always try and make it work. And, you know, we really do try and help everybody that wants to manifest their dream lives be able to do it through programs like Unleash Your Hero or through other ways to get there. Okay. So, and we are even in retrograde. I know. Things have happened bizarrely this year. Again, can't wait to share everything with you guys because there's a lot I've been keeping a secret from you all. Okay. All I want you to know, though, is that things are getting bigger and better and more incredible, and I've been working really hard behind the scenes of everything. So yes, Mind Your Hair is not going anywhere. Just don't think that because we're only doing Unleash Your Hero for 1 cohort this year that it's like going to be going. It's not, but there's other things at play here. Okay, so I hope you all have a beautiful evening. I will see you on Wednesday, same time, same places, Instagram and Facebook. And I think we're also putting this onto the podcast, so there's going to be lots of places that you can listen to it. If you do not have the workbook that I've been mentioning throughout this whole series, just pop us a message. We will make sure that you get that link, because then you've also got the replay links. If you have not signed up yet, I'm going to warn you, you will not be eligible for one of the prizes that we'll be giving away. And there might be an extra cool meditation in the throw this week if you've signed up for the challenge. So make sure to do that. I promise it's worth it. And I will see you all on Wednesday. I'm going to say goodbye to Instagram first. Bye, Instagram. Okay, and now bye, Facebook. Sorry, lots of tech. Okay, there we go. Bye, everyone.